Hello friends, welcome back to Simply Study. So in this video, I'm going to explain you how to plan for your engineering semester. Now, any branch of engineering has typically 8 semesters and we are going to plan for odd and even semesters. You can watch this video till the end to gain minimum 8 SPI by studying smartly. So let's start with the odd sem. From June middle to the term start, that's the term starts, from June middle. So you just need to understand the subject names and the books to refer. In the July 10 days, the last 10 days are for studying because you have your midterms in August mid or August end. In September again you have college tech fest, so you can simply enjoy the tech fest. After the tech fest you have Ganesh Mahotsav. Till this, in all this period after your midterm, there is no need to study. You can just focus on the assignments and whatever other work you are going to do during your semester. Now, so you have to study once before your midterms. Now let's see what happens after Ganesh Utsav. So there is a 15-day gap for studies because there will be Ganpati festival and then there will be Navratri festival. So between this there will be some gap. Now this period of time you have to utilize to study again for your submissions, practicals, vivas and everything. After which you will have your Diwali vacation. Now your exams typically depend on, are there exams just after your Diwali vacation or is there some gap between them? If there is some gap between them, you can study at those time, and if there is no gap between your Diwali vacation and the exam, then you have to study during your Diwali vacation. And then finally you have your exam. So if you carefully saw, you only have to study thrice, that is proper studies thrice. What will you do? In the rest of the time, see, you have to develop some skills, you have to learn some softwares, you have to work on some projects, you can do internship. There are so many options to do and you have to utilize those options and ideas. Now let's see about even sem, how things go in even sem. Your even sem starts from somewhere between December to January. Again, you just have to understand the subject names, books and faculty and everything, adjust to the new college. In February end, you have to start studying for your midterms, which may be somewhere between February end and March first week. After which, again in March, there will be a tech fest, maybe in your college or in nearby college, which you can definitely visit. And after your tech fest, there will be cultural fest. Many colleges in Gujarat have their cultural fest in April, so there will be cultural fest. Again, only February you have to study. Rest till April, you are free to do your project work, internship, whatever you want. Then after that, in April first week, you have to start studying for your submission, vivas, practicals, etc. After which you will again have a gap of few days. And in this gap, after your practical exams, there will be your study leave. In your study leave, you will again have to study for 10-15 days and then you have your final exams. So that's how you have to study only thrice in one semester as well. In the remaining time, you have to develop the skills and everything. Now let's see some tips for classwork and study. How can you improve your classwork and study? You have to write your class notes properly. Before studying the topics from reference book, you have to refer your class books, and I suggest that you at least read 3 books per subject, including your reference book, your class book, your textbook, whatever it is, to gain college level knowledge. Now these you have to study in the study period of study time given wherever you find the time. Now tips for practical exam. You have to make proper record books. Record book is something in which you write in your own words whatever is done in that particular practical. So you have to write the name of software, hardware used. You have to write the connection codes, whichever branch you are, whatever is coming. If some drawings are coming, you have to note down the software used for drawings, the measurements and everything. Write down the procedure in your own words and don't ignore this step, because if you ignore in your practical exam, it will be quite difficult for you to cope up with the practical. Do not bunk labs. I would suggest not to bunk classes as well, but do not bunk labs. Write the files regularly, otherwise, it will be a load during the submissions. Now, for assignments, whenever the assignments are given, try to complete the assignments in between 2 to 3 days from the day the assignment is given. This will make you understand the topic more clearly. And don't make a habit of last minute work, because I know engineers are tend to do last minute work, but that's not a very good habit. Now, tip for more marks. You have to perform very well in midterms, I would say. Score high in midterms so that your fundamentals are clear. Once your fundamentals are clear, even if your vivas are before your final exams, you will be able to study well for your vivas. So, half of the portion which you have covered till midterm is where you know all those portions, right? So you don't have to study that deep, and the rest of the portion just study the fundamentals. So that would be good for viva. And for the NSEM, of course, you'll have to study the whole book properly. So that's it from me, friends. If you have any query, how to prepare, how to study, from which book to study, etc., you feel free to contact me. So thank you for watching this video. Simply Study signing off. Thank you.